G'day Gooners, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. As you can already tell, George is back with us today. How are you?
Oh, mate, it's great to be back. I've got to say, I've missed you. I've missed you and I've missed the pod. So thank you very much for filling in the meantime. You've done a splendid job, my friend. Although I do feel bad that the only time we've really lost this season, you've had to deal by yourself. So
That was our
no,
first loss since starting the podcast, actually. So yeah,
literally.
it was a
Literally.
bit
So
rough. Yeah,
I'm glad we can join back together on more positive terms. Maybe not the
yeah,
best performance, but still 3 points under our belts.
yeah. It was a very interesting game, wasn't it? Because I don't know about you, but if for some reason it feels like we dropped points, even though we won. It is a weird sort of feeling, but at the end of the day, you got to block out all the noise. We did get the win. Obviously, not good enough. We will break down all the stuff, of course. But yeah, going into the game, obviously against Wolves, last place, joint lowest point tally for the I think the top four leagues of all time or something ridiculous like that on 2 points.
Yeah.
Obviously, they almost snagged a point today. Luckily they didn't for our sake. But yeah, going into the game, I thought it would be a bit of a thrashing, like a 4-0, 5-0. I heard a bit of chat about people thinking that we could get the 10-0 record in the Premier League. Obviously, I don't think that's ever going to happen. We haven't really ever been one of those teams to score a lot of goals like that. So I knew it wasn't going to be something crazy like that. But I was expecting a big win, but obviously it wasn't to be. What were your thoughts on the match overall?
I think context is pretty important when you're discussing these sorts of things. But what I would say is that the performance was not good enough, regardless of any external factors. But what I do think is the Premier League, the standard of the Premier League is so good. So on any given day, any team can cause you trouble, and especially when you don't defend properly. And I know Arteta said quite a few things post match about the way that we defended and the habits that we'd picked up. But it was simply not good enough. And you can't expect a good Premier League team uh, to not get chances. And I know that we rarely concede chances anyway, but um, especially with the injuries that we do have, Gabriel being probably the biggest one. Um, you're always likely to concede chances, and a lot of teams can put one chance away if they have one chance per game. They've got the quality to
Yeah,
put those chances away. This is the Premier League. This is the best league in the world. So, um, yeah, no, it was interesting. I actually thought that Arteta got his team selection wrong today.
yeah, I agree.
Um, just to, I guess, uh, let our viewers know it was a 7 a.m. kickoff for us here in Australia. So it was a good time for us to relax, I guess, and a little bit more of a line than we're used to. So it was a nice kickoff time. I was very
Yeah,
excited waking up at um, I don't know 6:15 to see the team news, but I thought he got it wrong. The team he went with was Raya. It was Hincapié at left back, Saliba at left centre back, Timber right centre back, Ben White at right back, Zubimendi, Rice, and Eze, and then Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka. Now, for
yeah,
me, I'm not sure what you think about this, Cal, but I think when, especially a team in the lower half of the table comes to the Emirates, we all know what they're going to do. They're going to play a 3-5-2, which turns into a 5-3-2, or they'll end up with a five back, is what
yeah.
is the point I'm trying to get at. They'll play a low block, they'll sit in front of their 18-yard box, try and force us central, play nice. Sorry, try and force us into wide areas, but play nice and narrow, and not let us play in central areas. So to me, when we have that as I guess, a benchmark for all the teams in the lower half of the table, when they come to the Emirates, that's what they'll do. We have to find better solutions than the solutions we were trying to find today, and I think that comes down to team selection. Now, we had on the right hand side, obviously Saka, who is just world class, so he can create separation when he has one, two, three defenders close to him. But on the other side, with Martinelli, he just does not have that ability, or he might have that ability, but he doesn't do it far often enough. I think it was his last action before he actually got subbed off. He managed to sort of turn Doherty for the first time in the whole game and
Mm,
really get himself into a good area to take a shot. But he's not known for that, or he hasn't been for a few years, right? So maybe it was because Trossard had just been sort of coming back from an injury. But I don't understand why Martin Odegaard was not playing in that game in central areas, whether it be alongside Eze as dual number 10s with Rice playing as a six, or or with Eze playing as a left winger, because we know that he can beat his man 1v1 often. And what it does, Cal, again, I'm really intrigued to hear your take on this, but yeah, when you've got wingers who are just able to beat their man 1v1, like what does that do? It creates space centrally. And what we didn't have was someone on the left-hand side who was going to be causing that sort of trouble. So that when we tried to penetrate in central areas, we just weren't able to do it effectively at all. And listen, it came down to probably a few things. Ball speed, I think, was definitely one of them. We were not
Yeah.
moving the ball fast enough at all. But I just don't think we had the players with those skill sets. Obviously, for however good Deckers is and his abilities, both on the ball and off the ball, he's not the type of person who will shimmy past two players and then play a little through ball in. That's not him. So I personally thought that we should have gone probably with dual tens in Eze and Odegaard, and then played Trossard out on the left hand side, because I just think that when he did come on, you could see
Yeah.
there was an immediate change in the way that we were playing. I don't know what you thought about that, brother.
No, yeah, 100%. I don't think Trossard was probably fit enough to start the game. I think that's probably the reason behind that. But yeah, before the game, I was calling for Eze and Odegaard to start the game together because I want to see that partnership just develop as well. I felt like today would have been the perfect opportunity for that to happen. So fortunately, we didn't see it. I felt like the team selection just was wrong, just all around, really. I mean, in the defense, like I don't know why Lewis Skelly is not playing at left back. Honestly, I even said it in the lineup video. I was saying, because Calafiori is suspended, like, oh, this is the one position that just picks itself, really. Lewis Skelly comes in, but he chose to put Hincapié out there, and I don't like it when he changes the back four too much. I don't think Ben White should have played as well. He's played too many minutes recently, and obviously saw what happened with him. We'll get onto that in a sec. But yeah, obviously Saliba was back, which I was happy about. I was calling for Norgard to play in that position. I don't think he would have been too bad there as well. So no problem with that. But yeah, obviously in midfield, I think Zubimendi probably should have got a rest as well. I think Rice probably would have been good enough to play behind Eze and Odegaard. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Madueke didn't even get a sniff of the game after scoring two midweek. So not sure what was going on really. Hopefully Arteta can learn from this as well. Hopefully it wasn't too. Luckily for him, it wasn't too harsh on him. Obviously by getting the win in the end. Luckily in the end, but yeah, it was definitely not the right team selection. And I think everyone probably agrees with that as well. But just heading into the game, obviously, we started. It's kind of we did have a lot of the ball as we expected, obviously at home against Wolves, but it wasn't really we weren't really doing anything with it. Like
No.
I refer to what you mentioned. I could think after the Burnley podcast, it was kind of that horseshoe sort of situation where we go one side, then we come back, and then Martinelli and Saka weren't really. Oh, actually, Saka was beating his man, but Martinelli wasn't. Um, yeah, it's just something about Martinelli when he's playing in the Champions League. I don't know what your thoughts are on him. Should we should he just be a Champions League exclusive, or how do you think we should utilize him in these? Like, obviously he's good against big teams, but these sort of games, how would you utilize him?
To me, as soon as the game opens up, that's where you see the best of Martinelli, when he can go in behind and when there's space to go in behind. What he struggles with is either playing on the touchline and receiving the ball constantly in wide areas, because he has to sometimes he has to like he'll have a defender on his back and he has to absorb the contact, which he's not that good at. And I know Doherty like fouled him quite a few times in that first half as well, but he's generally not very good at absorbing contact from behind, and he's not very good at facing up a fullback and really beating him with quality. Like he'll like he often tries to sort of wait until the defender makes a move
Yeah,
in terms of trying to win the ball back. And then he'll do like a sudden movement. He'll move the ball and manipulate the ball after the attempt of contact. Whereas I prefer more proactive wingers like a Saka and an Eze
yeah,
who who initiate that first move. And yes, they do a few shimmies and they wait for a little nibble, but you know that they're the ability that they have to beat a man with quality. Whereas it seems like when Martinelli does it, it's almost lucky that he's breaking
Yeah,
through. It's like the ball sort of just goes through the defender and somehow Martinelli comes out with it. And
yeah,
it does, if you were to measure it over a longer period of time, or like, I don't know, um, 50 to 100 take-ons, I think what you'd see, the pattern that you'd see with Martinelli would, he'd probably be successful in less than 50 of the 100, where Eze and Saka would be successful in probably 70 plus out of the 100. And that to me is a big indicator of the type of winger that they are compared to Martinelli. Martinelli needs an open game. I remember a few seasons ago, it must have been New Year's Day we played Brighton, or maybe
yeah.
Boxing Day we played Brighton, and Odegaard played the ball in
Beautiful
behind,
goal.
and
Yeah,
and he's done it many times this season in the Champions League, and that's because teams come
yeah,
and try and beat us. But when teams sit back, it wasn't a Martinelli game. I could have told you that before kickoff. Um, so yeah, that's how I would probably utilize Martinelli slightly better. In these games, he can come on later.
yeah,
When defenders are tired and maybe on a booking, you can bring someone like Martinelli on who can really cause trouble when, I don't know, maybe when we're chasing a game and we need to get a goal, and the situation needs to be different for Martinelli to really impact the game, in my opinion. Um, Whereas like someone like a Noni Madueke for me, like if you're going to play Martinelli, I would have played Noni in this game. If the options
yeah,
were Martinelli or Noni, I would have played Noni off the or probably off the left, but him and Saka can switch. That's what I
yeah,
would have done personally. If Trossard wasn't fit enough to start, which clearly he
yeah.
wasn't.
No, yeah, I definitely see that, and I do think that sort of Martinelli playing that game, it probably wasn't the right decision. And I think, as we mentioned before, the whole team wasn't the right decision really. I think it was really highlighted when Ben White went down. You see, I think he's played what 4 games in the last week or 8 days or something ridiculous like that. I mean, for a player, it felt like it was just going to happen, like because as you mentioned, he's had a lot of problems with his knee, and he played I think he played 90 against oh no, he didn't play 90 against Club Brugge, but the 2 games before that he did play 90 minutes, and it just felt like it was a matter of time really when he was going to go down. And it's so unfortunate that he did, because he just came back from injury as well. And obviously it's just been the story of our season so far. One comes back, Saliba, and then Ben White's out. So very, very, very frustrating. But yeah, just further into the game, obviously we didn't do too much in the first half. Really, it was really disappointing. Obviously at halftime, I was calling, maybe some halftime subs, bring Odegaard on. I mean, I felt like as soon as Odegaard came on, it felt like, it wasn't really Odegaard actually. Obviously, later on in the game, Trossard came on. As soon as Trossard came on, it felt like we are going to score a goal. I don't know what you
Yeah,
think about that, but I just had a vibe, and he just looked dangerous.
100%, 100%. Listen, I don't want to, I guess, shit talk Eze. Like I love Eze. Like I'm Eze's one of Eze's
Yeah,
biggest fans. Don't know why that wasn't coming out properly, but it came out eventually. But he didn't have a good game today. He just didn't get involved much. I feel like in those central areas, because you're so reliant on him to cause the trouble, it becomes quite easy to defend against. You know what I mean? Like it's very predictable that he's the one that we're going to call upon in central areas to try and beat the man.
yeah,
Um, so so yeah, it made it very easy for Wolves to sort of defend against him. So yeah, he didn't have a great game today. And although Odegaard plays slightly more deep, I actually thought when
yeah,
him and Marino came on, Marino was more of the crashing 10, and he was more of a number 8 trying to pick passes from deep. And whilst the quality wasn't there always when it came to Odegaard, at least he was trying difficult passes. I felt like I hardly remember Gyökeres touching the ball before Odegaard came on. And he
I
didn't
think
come
there
on, but
was there was like
what
one
minute
point
did he
where,
come on? The 57th minute? Like it's just
yeah,
ridiculous.
there was like one point when I remember I was like, because for me, I was just so, I think we all are just so desperate for Gyökeres to score, just not only for us, but just to prove other people wrong as well. Because I don't know, man, I don't think he played too well. I think we looked a lot better, especially when Jesus, sorry, came on. So we'll get to that. But there was one point when he received the ball, forget who from, but he kind of did like a turn, but couldn't quite get the shot off. And I thought, like, if we can keep doing that, he might get more chances. But we just didn't. And I know Odegaard, had a lot of passes. He was trying the difficult passes, which I can always appreciate because I like those sort of passes, and we needed something unique in this game to break the low block. But yeah, it was just really frustrating. And then obviously after a bit after the subs came on, we did get the first goal. Saka from the corner, and obviously bounced
Another
off the
set
post.
piece.
Another set piece, yep. Bounced off the post off Sam Johnson's shoulder and went in. Obviously, own goal. I've seen a lot of people scrutinizing us for the own goals, but when it's a corner of that quality, Saka, that is all Saka. Obviously, on
Yeah,
paper, he's not going to get the assist or the goal. In my opinion, I think if you make the cross that leads to an own goal, I think you should get the assist. That's just my opinion. But
100%.
obviously, on paper, he's
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
get
for sure.
anything. But that was all Saka, and he created that luck. It doesn't matter if it's own goal or not. We deserve to get that goal, I guess, purely from the quality of that corner. I don't know what your thoughts about
100%.
thoughts were on that goal,
No,
but I was
that's
so
for
happy
sure.
when it
And
went in. Yeah,
I think it was pretty indicative of Saka's performance in general. I thought he was outstanding today, and
yeah,
I've been pretty critical of him this whole season. So it's great for him to step up, and he stepped up midweek, and he's been a lot better the last couple of games. So yeah, no, really really good from him. Great delivery. Like so, it's almost impossible to defend against that.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, no, really really good. It's funny because they weren't even that happy that they scored. I mean, obviously they were, but the
yeah,
performance was so below par. I think they were just more relieved to get that
yeah.
that goal. Um, and then what happened? Tell us, tell us, Cal. What then went on? It was crazy.
Well, obviously, after the first goal went in, I was like, all right, finally, here we go. Floodgates are going to open now. Let's get two, three more goals. Job done, comfortable. Obviously, they did not stick to the script. It was just, I don't know what we did. We sat back against 2 point Wolves at home, 1-0 up.
Yeah,
I don't know
very
what that
very
was about.
disappointing.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. It was such a shame to see that as well because it felt like it just looked like we just lacked confidence. I don't know who was responsible for that. I don't know if that's Arteta. I don't know if that's. I saw people saying there was Odegaard and Marino telling people to push back. I don't know about that if that's a reliable source or not. But yeah, it was weird to see, and I felt like we let them back into the game. I saw on the TV, they show the possession in the last 10 minutes or so. There was a point after he scored, about 15 minutes after he scored they showed the possession in the last 10. I think Wolves were on about 82% possession. When in the whole game, we probably had about 80% possession. I think it was about 75
Yeah.
or something like that. So I thought it was just, I don't know what your thoughts were, but I thought it was ridiculous that we sat back.
Yeah, it was very strange. It wasn't very
Yeah.
Arsenal-like. I know that we do sometimes suffer during games, but it seemed like the response that we needed was really just to control the tempo of the game and just keep the ball, which we're usually pretty good at, but we weren't able to do it for some reason.
If you have the
And
ball, the other team's not going to score. Like, that's just
a
football.
hundred
Like,
percent, a
yeah.
hundred percent. But it does just prove that, a team just needs one chance, and
Yeah.
they did. They buried it, and that came on, was it
90th minute. Yeah.
90th minute?
By the way,
Came on
that
the
Wolves
night.
striker is absolutely massive. I don't know. He should be playing
Big
rugby.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big guy, big guy. And when he came on, I was like, oh, he could cause us some serious
Yeah.
trouble, to be fair. Um, but I mean, I guess the performance itself just sort of was very indicative of um, Timber's response. I'm not sure if you saw the picture of Timber at the end. He looked absolutely knackered and he looked like he was probably in the red zone. And
Oh, really?
it
After the
made it
goal or
made
after the
set
game?
after the game and we'd
Oh,
won
okay.
and he
Yeah.
just didn't look that happy. It seemed that um, the plan was for him to play at centre back, just so that extra amount of running probably
Oh, true.
wasn't
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't going to be done. But the situation is the situation. No Calafiori, no Gabriel, no Mascara. You're really put into a situation where you have to play more minutes, and obviously we lost Ben White, but um, yeah, we managed. I was so angry. I don't know what your thoughts were when they scored. I was just like, surely not again. Like, are we just going to throw this away? I've already got all my
Yeah.
mates on the group chats going crazy at how
Yeah.
Arteta bottles every year and all this stuff, and I just can't
Yeah.
deal with us doing it again. But sometimes things are destined.
Yeah.
And around the Christmas period, my friend, a man called Gabriel Jesus, although it was an own
True.
goal, uh, but but Jesus stepped up, man. Jesus stepped up,
Yeah,
and he it again. He wasn't really claiming that it was his, but his movement caused the own goal,
yeah,
along
exactly.
with a beautiful cross from Saka again, who, as I said before, had a great game. Um, yeah, great movement, great. I mean, Mosquera, great
Yeah,
header, by the way,
yeah,
serious
beautiful.
header.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
love
I
it,
think
love it. So, go on.
I think when Jesus came on, I was obviously, you know me, I'm a big Jesus fan. I don't know if you caught the podcast or not, but I was saying that when all of our strikers are fully fit, I still genuinely think at the top of their game, he is our best striker. And I
Yeah,
think
I don't
today was a
disagree.
game. I think today was a game that suited him the most out of all of our strikers. So obviously, when he came on, obviously you haven't been here since he's came back from injury. So I don't know what your thoughts are about him coming back, but for me, I'm just super happy, and I think regardless if he touched I mean, regardless if it was an own goal or not, he's in the right place at the right time. And I mean, he distracted the defender for us to go on and get the goal, and beautiful cross from Saka as well. But yeah, after their goal went in, I was like, oh, same old story. Like, all right, let's just pack it up now, focus on the Champions League. FA Cup, like, it's just done. Like, obviously, if Man City won and we drew, they would have been ahead of us. So I was like, oh shit, this is not great. But thank God, thank Jesus. I'm not religious, but thank Jesus, I guess, for the goal in the end. But yeah, so happy for him. I did think he scored it, but yeah, job done in the end. Plus 3 points, but we cannot play like that against Everton next week. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a different story.
No, and I think that Arteta will learn a lot from the performance and the team selection and the way the game went. He won't let that happen again. There's just no
Yeah,
way that he can do that. Like you can't win titles by playing like that on a consistent basis. And I'm going to put it down to the fact that we did have quite a few injuries and actually, nah, you can't be making excuses. It was just a bad performance, and sometimes you get those during seasons. But most important thing to do when you're doing that is to get the 3 points, which is exactly what we
yeah,
did. Um, so yeah, we move on to next week, which is
yeah,
another 7 a.m. kickoff
yeah.
for us on a
Can I
Sunday morning, which is
can I
beautiful.
just say
Go
as
on.
well? Obviously, we got a lot of injuries, but of course, this wasn't an excuse today. I think the whole lineup we mentioned before was just a jumble. Like, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter if Marley Salmon's at right back. Teenagers are playing. It's Wolves. Like, obviously, Premier League is very competitive. No matter if you're first, 20th, anyone could beat anyone. But I mean, 2 points in the whole season. Like, it's just we should be winning no matter what team we have. We've got the quality, we've got the depth. I mean, you see Martinelli on the left wing, probably not the right choice to start the game. Martinelli, like he still is a quality player, a quality footballer. We have the players to do it. Rice, Zubimendi, and Eze in the midfield. Like, there's no excuse if we did drop points in that game. So, yeah, I guess happy in the end, but not satisfied. I think is the best way to describe it. So, plus 3, and yeah, we move on to Everton. Should we do the preview for Everton, or do you think it's too?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
All right,
absolutely, yeah,
all right. Let's
absolutely.
do it. So Everton, did they play today? Who are they up against? Because obviously we're recording this on the Sunday. So they lost against Chelsea today as well. I do remember that. Yeah, Cole Palmer scored. Gusto scored as well. They lost 2-0, but obviously they're going to be at home against us. And in previous seasons we haven't always found. I'm losing the name of their stadium now.
Yeah,
Save me
because
here.
they've just moved from Goodison. It's a new one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
what is
They're
it
in the new.
called? Yeah,
It's a great question.
it's lost me, but obviously we haven't always played good away at Everton, so I'm hoping we can change that on Sunday. But how do you see that game going?
It's a good question. I'm trying to find the name of their stadium. It's really frustrating me because
Yeah, it's a
it's
new
in the
stadium,
back of
isn't it?
my
Yeah,
yeah, it's in the back of my brain. Where is it? Hill Dickinson Stadium. That's it.
I didn't even know that was the name. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the name of the stadium. So, good question. They're in eighth place, man, and obviously Chelsea beat them, which is obviously a good result for Chelsea. But going to their place is a completely different game.
Yeah,
They've got a few really dangerous players. Obviously, Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish, of
yeah,
course, Iliman and Jai, who I think is a really good
quality.
player.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
I think Beto can cause us some trouble, and I think he has done previously. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not the
I don't
most
rate him.
technically gifted.
Yeah,
He's not the most technically gifted, but he's mate. The guy that scored today against us is not the most technically gifted, but he's a big
that's
lump, and
true.
if you
That's
can
true.
give him some good quality, he can score goals. So
Yeah.
yeah, they can really cause us
We'll see.
some trouble. I think also defensively they've had quite a good record so far. I
I
think
mean,
my,
they've got Jordan Pickford. He starts for England, a quality keeper. So obviously he's going to be hard to get past. It is pretty impressive that he seems to always be up in the clean sheet awards, despite Everton.
yeah.
I mean, maybe not recently, but a few years ago, obviously almost being relegated, and he's still up there, which is super, super impressive. So, I mean, they've got quality all around the pitch, but should we do our lineups for that game?
I reckon we should just leave it for TikTok. The reason I say
All right,
that is because we
true.
don't know what's going to happen between
Yep,
now and the end of the week. Because I don't know, players can come back. Obviously, Calafiori is going to be back from suspension
yep.
um and whatnot. We don't know how I don't know Ben White's going to react. Timber looked like he took a knock. It's an interesting one. Hopefully, by the next pod, we'll be even. I guess the same amount of points that we are now away from City because they would have lost. Although I don't see that
Hopefully, fingers
happening,
crossed.
but fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much more to say about it. I think that we really need to, I guess, we need to show a proper performance. Like that performance
yeah.
just wasn't good enough, man. It just wasn't good
I
enough.
think I think a good point to raise as well is obviously we didn't look too good today, but our last three away games we've not been great. Excluding Champions League, just Premier League focus. We lost against Aston Villa, 1-1, drew against 10-man Chelsea, and then obviously we drew to Sunderland just before the break. So I think this weekend is actually super important. Not I want to say bounce back from this result, but we need a better performance this weekend, but we also need to prove that we can do it away from home as well. I mean,
100%.
I think this game is super important. It's just before Christmas as well. If we win this game and then win the Crystal Palace game as well, that will make our Christmas a lot better as well. So definitely hoping for that. Score predictions, I
Oh, I'm
reckon.
gonna go 3-1 on Arsenal.
Okay, that's bold, I reckon. I'm gonna go. I do think I have hope. I think we'll play good. I think we'll definitely play better than we did today. Play better than the Villa game. But I don't think it'll be as super fluid as I want it to be. So I'm gonna go 2-1, I think. 2-0. 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0. I think it'll be a good game.
All
So
right.
definitely keen for it. Yeah. So that's our predictions. They're two pretty different predictions, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously, update on my Wolves prediction. I predicted 4-0. So yeah, that's just completely wrong. I don't know if did you make a prediction off camera?
I didn't make a prediction. I was
Perfect.
just
You could have said 2-1 right there and everyone would have believed you. So,
nah. Come on now. Come on now. No one would have believed me. No one would have believed.
um, but yeah, I think that's all we got time for today. Obviously, we will, as George mentioned, we'll come back. Stay tuned for the TikToks. We'll do our lineups and maybe an updated score prediction, but I think we've got it pretty locked in now. So hopefully some positive injury news throughout the week. Hopefully Ben White isn't too bad. And hopefully maybe Gabby Jesus can play a few more minutes as well. Who knows? Maybe could get a start. Who knows? Instead of Gyökeres. I guess we'll find out later in the week, see how we feel about that. But yeah, we just want to thank you guys so much for watching as usual and listening. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. Helps us out a lot, and we'll do all the clips on there as usual. But yeah, that's enough from me. Hey George, anything you want to add?
Apologies for not being there the last couple of pods, and thank you very much, Cal, for carrying us through that time. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, Gooners.
Good day, Gooners.